No form builder would be complete without the ability to send emails, and Webform is no exception. So in this video, we are going to configure Webform to fire off 2 emails. The first one will be to a sales department, because remember, this is a request a callback form. Somebody wants to be called back or contacted. So when a user fills out this form, an email will get sent to a sales department. And then the second email will be a confirmation email, but it'll only be sent if the user has supplied an email. Because remember, a user can give a phone number or an email. So we are not guaranteed an email address all the time. So the confirmation email will be a conditional email. But before we jump into things, let's talk about logging emails, because chances are right now you are working on your local machine and it can be difficult to check if emails get sent and also to debug emails. Now, one module which I want to talk about is maillog. Now, maillog simply logs emails, but it will still send the email. So just be careful of that. Even if you install this module, it will still send emails and log them. And if we scroll all the way down, you can see that there's only a development release for Drupal 8. Now, I'm more than comfortable recommending this module as long as you don't install it on a production site. Just install it locally. So if you want to use this, simply run this composer command or simply click on this link, download it and copy it into your modules directory. But I do recommend that you use Composer. Let's jump back to our site and let's install the module. So if I search for maillog and then I'll click on install and then go to configuration and then scroll all the way down to maillog settings. So the first thing we'll do is uncheck allow the emails to be sent. This is very important because you don't want to accidentally send emails, especially if your local environment can send emails. And the other one which we'll uncheck is display the emails on page. This can be a bit annoying because it'll take up half the page displaying the text of the email. But most importantly, make sure you have checked create table entries in maillog table for each email. And let's just click on save configuration. And if you want to clear all of the emails which have been logged, just simply click on this button. So let's jump back into Webform and configure our emails. So go to settings, not build this time, settings, and then click on emails/handlers, and then click on add email. And the first email which we'll create is the one which will get sent to the sales department. So let's just call this sales department. And let's change the to email to something custom. So we'll call it sales@example.com. And you can modify the from email and name from here if you want to. And then from the message area, you can modify the subject and the body. So let's just tweak the subject so that we have the first and last name in the subject. And we can do this using token. So click on this browse available tokens. And if you can't see this link, make sure you have the token module installed. So just click on that. And this will give you an example of all the available tokens. And the one that we want is under Webform submissions. So click on that and scroll down until you can find submission values. And this one, Webform submissions : values : ? This is a wildcard token, meaning that we can replace the question mark with an element key. Then that element value will get rendered. So let's just copy this. I always like to just copy these and just close that and go back to subject, click on custom subject, and then let's add in request a callback from, let's paste this in and simply replace the question mark with first name because that is the key of the element. So let me just open that up in a tab quickly. It is this key. And the final one is last name. Again, add the key in last name. And then from the body field, you can modify the body of the email. So if we were to copy this and then select custom body and then click on source and then paste in the default body. And then we can enter in something like, please contact customer. And this token, or web form submission values, this is the main token which will display all of the values. And you can control which values get added to this token by clicking on included email values and simply uncheck which value you don't want to be passed to that token. In our case, we want all of it, but in certain forms, you may have private elements which you don't want the end user to see, or you may have confidential information that you do not want to send over email. So once you've configured everything, click on Save, and let's now test this out. So let's go to our form, and we'll use the Test tab, and let's click on Next Page, and then Submit. And then we get this nice message reminding us sending of email messages is disabled by maillog module. Now let's check out the logged email. So go to Reports, and then you should see maillog. And here you can see the logged email. If you click on the subject, you can see the full body of the email. You can see all the headers in the email. And you can also see that the values are broken out into the separate pages. First name, last name, preferred contact method. And then we have company details. And then we have CMS software and details. And now let's create the confirmation email. So let's go back to Structure, Web Forms, and go to Settings. And then click on Emails/Handlers and click on Add Email. And we'll call it confirmation email, but you can call it whatever you want. And from the To Email dropdown, select the email element. And then scroll down to Message, and let's change the subject to Thanks for contacting us. And let's change the body as well. And we'll paste the default in. But this time, we'll add in a token. Thanks. And let's add in the first name, like we did in the last email. And that will be web form submission values, first name. So it'll be thanks, first name, and then all of the details. And again, if you want certain elements to be hidden, simply uncheck them here. If not, all of the values will be sent in the confirmation email. And finally, let's scroll back to the top to conditions. And let's configure this so that it only gets sent if the email element has been filled out. So from the state dropdown, select enabled. And from this dropdown, select email. And then from trigger/value, select field. So this condition will be enabled if email is filled. And then just click on Save. And then click on Save Handlers. And then if we go back to our form, and then make sure email is the preferred contact method, click on Next, and just click on Submit. And then if we go back to Reports, maillog, and now you can see that there are two emails. One is the confirmation, and the other one is the one which gets sent to the sales department. And then if we click on the confirmation email, you can see our token works. Thanks, Ringo. That because Ringo's the first name. So our tokens work. So as you can see, configuring emails is pretty easy in web form. The UI takes a bit of getting used to, but once you understand it, you'll be surprised just how powerful it is.